Okay, good morning, everyone. Good afternoon, wherever you might be. We'll get it right into the stock market charts. Gonna look at a couple things. There's not a whole lot of change in the broad indices. We've got the Fed coming out on Friday. There's a Fed conference going on, and they should have some speech on Friday with Jerome Powell talking. So the market's likely waiting for the Fed to drop any kind of signals of its policy here in the future on that meeting on Friday. So that's kind of what's going on in the market. I think we're probably going to drift lower into that meeting or shortly after, but let me point out the levels. Guys, if you're interested in learning this as a skill set, and I know I say it in all my videos, but again, for anybody that's new, check out my stock market technical analysis course, link in the description below. There's a lot of good value in that course. It's not free. I don't want to give away anything for free, but I priced it affordable. So check that out if you're interested. Also join the private group. The private group, there should be a link in the description below as well. Or if you've already subscribed to the channel, there should be a join button that is next to that where that subscribe button used to be. So you can join there. We do give out, I do give out some a little bit more up-to-date market insights. We also do a Saturday live stream where we cover any stock picks and charts that you might have. We do those Saturday live streams. So join up there. Lots of good value there. Okay, so triple Qs, guys. Today, basically just more of the same from yesterday. Just, a little bit of just muted buying basically right in here, or maybe short covering. But I think for the most part, it's just kind of muted buying. Dip buyers, I don't see any change in the posture. So I think we're continuing lower. Maybe it's after the Fed, but again, still looking for us to run down to this right now, depending on when we get there. If we got there tomorrow, it'd be about 301.90. And then if we get there on, Friday, it'd be about 302-ish. So right there, that trend line, again, that is the support line. All right, and so I'm looking for us to tag that. Now, I think we should get a reaction at that level, at least the initial tag. So I'll be looking to cover my shorts at that level, and then probably flip long for a bounce trade. And then we'll see from there how, what happens. But as of right now, I think it'll go like this. We come down here, hit that, bounce, maybe all the way up, fill this gap, up here, 322.50 possibly, and then continue to roll over. And then ultimately in the future, I do think we break this trend line to the downside and really move down to take out the most recent lows. And then at the end of the day or down the road, I don't know exactly when, but I think we fall down to our target of support about 238.50 on the triple Qs. Okay, that's my trading plan for right now. I don't see any change in that plan for the time being. Dropping down to the hourly chart here on triple Qs, you can see we're kind of just consolidating. We do have a little bit of bullish divergence here on the hourly, right there on both momentum indicators. So again, maybe that's good for us to run up and fill this gap. That is a possibility as well. I just want to lay out, kind of multiple scenarios because I don't exactly know which way it'll play out. But we could maybe run up, fill this gap right here, and pop into this resistance line. It would probably be about 323.50-ish, somewhere right in there. And let me extend that out. There is, there's a clear level of resistance right in that area, about 323. If I go to the daily, just to point out that area of resistance, you can see it's basically right up here, and it comes in with that. It's a gap fill, and it also comes in with the downtrend line, which is the downward trend. You can see we've got resistance here, resistance, and resistance right there. So we could pop up, fill the gap, then roll down. That's another scenario. So either way, I think we're heading lower, whether we go up right here and fill this gap first. I don't know if we do that with the highest degree of confidence, but I do think we are going to hit this trend line down here. So that's really what I'm looking to trade. S&P 500, very similar, in terms of triple Q. We've got this gap to fill right here at about 421.60. So maybe a rally up there and then a move down. Target though right now is this trend line down here. You can see support, and then I think we hit that trend line. So no difference, no change there. I'll just move on. And then IWM should look about the same. IWM sitting there, little gap to fill just overhead. And again, the target on that one is down here at about 177. You know, maybe just depends on when we get there. Maybe 180, somewhere right in here is the target. Okay, now that I got that out of the way, let's look at some just different stuff. So LLY, you can see here, this is what I got right now. Bearish rising wedge, okay, breakdown, back test, and a failure. Today we're just kind of, this is what's called an inside day. So they're basically trading, today's trading action is all within the high and low of the previous day. And it's just a continuation day, basically. Inside days often just, they're not a sign of a reversal or anything. So typically this is just a continuation day where I think we continue lower. So looking for lower prices here in the near future. LLY, I still have my target right down here at 284-ish. Okay, the 200 days right down there, and you've got some support on the daily chart. So that's the near-term support zone is right down there, and I'm pretty confident we hit it. So I'm continuing short on that one, looking for some more downside to finish off the week. Okay, FANG stocks, Amazon sitting at some support right here. Again, you've got this trend line, this upward trend line, support, and there's some, there's kind of a reaction. We only have 2 data points though, so I can't really say it's a very solid trend line. You need at least 3 data points to make a trend line, and we've only got 2. So maybe this will hold and we get a bounce here, maybe not. I don't quite know. If we break down, then there's a gap to fill down here at 122.97. So I would expect we'll get a reaction there. And again, we did just come off a divergent high. So there's your negative divergence on the daily chart. And these were divergent highs. So I think ultimately we do break to the downside. I don't see any indication that not. And if you look at the weekly, on the weekly, this is the kind of the bigger time frame, the more important one, obviously for larger moves. This is going all the way back to really Amazon's IPO of 1997. Again, the Fed's been in here cutting interest rates since this period of time, propping the market up for, at least 20 years, likely more. But look, support, all these areas of support. And then we broke support and we're backtesting and, looking for this to fail. So if this does fail, I would look for Amazon to come all the way down to the next level, 80.62. Okay, that would be the next level of support. And yep, that's what I got. That's what I think is going to happen in Amazon. Whether it plays out this week, I don't know. We could always do another back test. That's always possible. Google, there's really just nothing that interesting to see in Google. I mean, we have a potential downtrend line here. We didn't get a third reaction. So do we rally up and give that next third reaction? Maybe we do. I don't exactly know. I don't see much in the charts here that tell me at the level we're currently at which way Google's going to go. So I'll just move on. Microsoft, to me, Microsoft looks like it had a false breakout. So look, you've got this downtrend line. All right, so I've got 2 data points, but this is a third because look, you had a gap up. So you held here for a couple of days at this resistance, and then you gapped up over it. That gaps are impulsive moves, and you want to treat them as such. So we gapped up over there. Everything looked great, but boom, gap down. This is an island cluster top, everyone. So island cluster top is a reversal pattern, and you look for continuation to the downside. We have seen it so far. So again, I think whether we rally up to this trend line or not, I don't know. But ultimately, I think we're heading down to the bottom. Down here was the target, 255.75-ish, 256, depending on when we get there. Okay, that's your next level of support. And that's where I think it heads. So if Microsoft's doing that, it's very likely the Triple Qs is going to be doing that as well. Amazon, Amazon kind of has an island cluster top, but it's not that clean. But on Amazon, you've got, Apple. Sorry, guys, Apple. You've got this trend line. So look at these. This is the daily chart. Support. Okay. There's another reaction. Support. There's a cluster here. And you can see we held it here for a few days, gapped up, and have since failed. Not super impulsive yet. We're just trying to hold. They're trying to hold on to it. So this is waiting for the Fed most likely. And then I think we continue to the downside. Meta's not doing much. There's not much to go through here on Meta. Let's look at Tesla. Tesla just consolidating here at the top. Negative divergence. right there. All right, so that's a divergent high, and I think we're going to head lower, but we're just consolidating. So we need to see resolution to the downside. Like there's a split coming up. That'll kind of jack our charts up a little bit when we get that split because the price will change. So we'll probably have to rechart this, but most likely we're going to see Tesla resolve to the downside, after the Fed. Walmart. So Walmart, we're looking at a weekly chart here, and really we have this bearish rising wedge, but really want to focus on this lower trend line. Weekly chart, support, 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 support. Big weekly sell signal right here. Boom, breakdown. Huge impulsive weekly drop. And this came with a big gap down, so this was just a big impulsive move. And you can see we rallied with a back test and have been rejected so far, and we're below the 200. So, Walmart's likely going like this down to our next target. And again, it's on the weekly chart, so it's going to take, this could play out over the, maybe a year or so. I don't know the exact time frame, but down here about 93, it looks like. Not a whole lot of juice, but it's definitely, that's a move of about 30% on the weekly chart though. So it might take some time. And yeah, there's a trade idea though. And you'll also notice here on the weekly chart, big weekly negative divergence. Now weekly divergence, I don't often point out just because it can take months to resolve, and it's just not the best indicator to give us a nice clean entry, but it is generally a good indicator of what the larger trend is. And that's what I see. I see the larger trend on Walmart heading lower. XLY, this is a consumer discretionary ETF. You can see resistance, 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 brief overshoot, and a failure and back down below at resistance. So false breakout, bull trap, that's what that is right here. We did have negative divergence that was building right there on the daily chart. So this breakout came with negative divergence, and that has a high probability of failing when you see that stuff. So okay, I've been scanning around looking for anything else that's interesting. Again, it's kind of a continuation day. We're likely going to go into just a choppy holding pattern till the Fed on Friday. So I'll just get this video out, guys. Drop me a thumbs up. Leave a comment. If you have something new you want me to look at or a chart, leave it in the comments. I do try to look at some of those. And if you want to bring a chart pick on our Saturday live stream, then feel free to join up on the membership, and we'll see you on that Saturday live stream. Catch you guys on the next one.